think this is on. We're reporting live from the track. It's been a while. I really think I have my camera really so far away. Give me a second, guys. We're working here. We're gonna tighten that. Bam! Bring your cup. You don't have to do your own coffee? How was your sleep?
Well, I mean, I was tired and I was ready to go to bed, but like I could feel the intrusive thoughts coming.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where like I was like, man, I'm gonna start thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start thinking about it.
So it's your first time back after a big crash. So you never had a crash that big, right?
I only had 2.
That one was a fucking doozy, yeah. My only experience was that my first crash in Jersey, I came back and couldn't really ride.
Is this all yours?
Nah, take it. I keep making extra until somebody. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this got a little spout. Please don't drop it. Your hands are shaky. Yeah, so that first crash I had was in Jersey on the right side. The next year I couldn't ride at all. Like right hand turns mentally messed me up. I was going so slow everywhere. I was just scared to crash. The second time I crashed is when I broke my collarbone in turn 6. I thought like it's gonna fuck me up again. Came back and there was just nothing.
We'll see what happens in practice, right? That first session is gonna say it all.
Yeah.
Right. If I feel like I have like a huge thing to get over, I'm gonna be like, oh shit. If I go out there and it's just like, okay, I feel okay, I'm just taking it slow.
Yeah.
Part of me is like, that's such a somewhat unique area of the track. I'm not overly concerned.
Yeah.
Like I haven't projected it out of like I'm worried anywhere else. Right. When I crashed on the road the first time,
Yeah.
I worried everywhere else. So it's like that, I can't turn there with all that camera. Like what's going on, right? But that's also where I was making up all my time.
7, 8, 9.
Lap times, I'm probably not going to be able to get back there this weekend, right?
First weekend back, it's gonna be super hard. You know, take it one lap at a time, one session at a time, one race at a time. Just stuff some novices, make you feel better. We don't do that here. Reporting live from the track. I have my coffee, I have my bikes. I have my coffee and I have my bike. And we're at the track. It's a beautiful day, it's sunny, not a damn cloud in the sky. It's mid-50s right now, but it's supposed to be coming up into the 80s this weekend. Today's practice, it's Friday. It beats being at work. People still rolling in. Tech is open for the school right now. My tech for race practice isn't open until 8:30, so we got a little bit of time left. We got 5 sessions today. We got 2 races tomorrow, and that's a wrap for 2025 with NEMRR. I have really no specific goals, just to do better than I did last practice and do better than I did last races. So we're just mainly here to have fun. We're gonna have a good turnout. A couple more guys are supposed to show up in our garage. Sergio's a little bit late today. Just got back from vacation, so I'm ready to ride. I'm ready to rip. Demetrio's back from injury. His bike doesn't look like it was damaged whatsoever, so that's a good thing. You know, you probably just heard about what we talked about. Hopefully his riding doesn't get hindered from the crash, but yeah, we'll just keep an eye on it for the rest of the weekend. It's Friday. We're at the track. It's beautiful. I got coffee. The weather's great. Can't ask for much more. We'll report back in a little bit. See how today goes. while the coffee is going, I'll just give a rundown about practice yesterday. Nothing happens without coffee, so we're making a couple of batches for the guys. I'm trying to wake up. It's 7:02 in the morning. We had a pretty long night last night, and a couple of the registration peeps came out to hang out. I might have had one more whiskey than I should have. Practice yesterday. Where do I start, man? A lot of traffic. Always clump you together with the motard guys, so it becomes one giant lightweight class. Needless to say, it was a little bit hard to get clear track, to get to do some fast laps or fast-ish laps for me, but we managed to get it done. I love making pour-over coffee. It's one of the best. Cafe Bustelo, no plugs here. The morning started out pretty good, and I was able to shave off another 2/10 from my time. That's always great. Except for a moment in turn 3 where I lost kind of the front and the rear, and I was watching the videos from last night. There's a bump there, and when I go over that bump, I kind of just ham-fisted full of gas, causing the front to unsettle, and then once I passed that, causing the rear to kind of just spin out. So it was just kind of one of these womp. It didn't really faze me, but there was a lot of crashes yesterday, mainly in the track day groups and not the racer practice. So kind of interesting, but also kind of the MO for that. Everybody else seems like they had a really good time. Mike ended up getting hit by someone else's student, which was kind of crazy. They talk about it happening all the time, and it finally happened yesterday. He got taken out by a student, no fault of his own. Both are okay, a little bit banged up. No, not worse for the wear. As for the rest of it, I skipped up the last session because obviously last session's Zuma OLR6. It was the last session. So I skipped up the last session because obviously last sessions.
Good morning, New Hampshire. It's race day. We're gonna have a great day today. Mason's gonna kick it out of the park.
Maybe just a little bit.
I love this guy. He's always doing the right thing in the paddock. He makes us all happy.
Get out of here. Yo, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't paid for that. I'm pretty ecstatic. I'm pretty happy with how the year came together. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun. Hannah's gonna come up. Her mom's gonna come up. Oh, John is already whipping in his Pontiac. If you watched the intro and you made it this far, then you know I've already crashed this bike a second time. So I ended my season like how I started my season, with a crash. It sucked. But that's not to hinder a great weekend. I felt really good in Friday practice. Alright in Saturday morning. I was really amped and chomping at the bit to get going on Saturday for the 2 only races I had to finish up my season with NEMRR. Needless to say, I was ready to go. And the weather looked fantastic. It's one of the few forecasts we've had all race season where rain wasn't projected in the forecast. We haven't gotten much of that up in the Northeast lately. My only 2 races for the weekend was 500 Super Sport and Ultralight Superbike, both of which on Saturdays I haven't participated in a while, so I didn't really have enough points to get better grip position. I'll get into this crash that happened in race 13 in a bit. Let's start with race 11, 500 Super Sport. I gridded up 12A, which was to the wall, my preferred grip position, and the only other thing was that they combined us with the expert amateur Formula 50. So that's all a couple of the guys in the garages around me, one being Steve, the other one being Bruce. 2 great guys on their lightweight machines in front of us, going out in the same wave. To my immediate left was Lewis, and in the front row was Stockford, Leary, McKenzie, and Patillo. Dominic. I'll just call him Dominic. His name is Dominic. These guys are pretty quick. They're faster than me, so it was a carrot in front that I really wanted to chase. Unfortunately, when the lights went out, I did no chasing. I bogged the start, which you don't really hear me say often, but there's a first for everything, and that was a lot of firsts. I bogged the start. I was ahead of Lewis going into 1, but by the end of that corner, corner, he was already around my outside, and I just saw Steve's SV650 directly in front of us. By the time we exited 2, Dominic was already on my inside gaining because he had a better drive coming out of that corner. So I tried to outbrake both of them, Dominic and Steve, going into 3, which success I did, but I could see Lewis getting away with the other fast guys. So I had my work cut out for me, and directly right in front of me was Merrick on his monster, which, you know, 400 versus something with a bigger motor, you're gonna get outmotored on the straights anyway. So I had to try to make up all my time in the corners. And as I say that, Dominic and I go side by side up the hill down into the bowl, and he was already ahead. I tried to regain position, but he was not letting off. So I followed him closely all the way down 7, 8, 9, and I realized, okay, maybe I can make a pass on the outside of 11, and the only way to do that is to stay out to his outside, but be as close as possible so I can close the door on him right before the chicane. To my surprise, I actually pulled it off. I had to ride on the curving on the right before 11, and I made the pass on the outside of him, shut the door on him in 12, and just continued on down the straight chasing Merrick. Because he had a much bigger bike, obviously, I had to try to catch up in the corners, which made my work a lot more hard because we're not technically in the same race, but we are in the same wave, and I can see my guys that I'm trying to chase down get further and further ahead. I left the door wide open in 3 on the 3rd lap because I was trying to chase Merrick down so hard that it came in so hot. Dominic took the inside, and it was just like lap 1 all over again. I tried to stay as close as possible as I can going down turn 9. Right before turn 11, I realized I can probably make that move again, and this time I actually sandwiched myself in between him and Merrick and kept him behind me again. So 2 for 2 in that corner, felt really solid. Chased down Merrick for another lap or 2, and by the time that we came around for maybe the 5th lap, I was able to put the move on him as I did with Dominic in the previous laps. And to my surprise, when I rewatched the footage, I could see Geyer on my outside right, and I'm on Merrick's outside right. And so I'm thinking he's trying to do to me what I'm doing to him. So I thought that was a little bit funny because during that lap, I just see him shoot out of 12 right next to me, and I was just like, yo, who is that? Realized it was Geyer, and I was like, all right, I see you. But nobody showed me a wheel after that. It was a pretty quiet race once I got up there for the last couple of laps. The lap times didn't really reflect what I wanted because we were battling so much in the beginning, and it really was still a fun race. I enjoyed the battles. I came back in just pumped full of adrenaline, and it was good, you know. It was my first race on a Saturday in a while. To have that kick it off was pretty spectacular, and it got me really amped for race 13 because it's gonna be my last race for the season, and I really wanted to do well. And speaking of, let's head straight to it. So in race 13, there was only 6 people from pole position. Yeah, we'll call it pole. We all went on wave 2. It was Stockford, number 512. I can't pronounce his last name. Myself at 6C, Gerard, Sweeney, or Lewis in the back. Is it Lewis? Yeah, 661. Yeah, it's Lewis. I actually had a much better start this race. Okay, so we're doing well already, but by the time we got into turn 1, 512, 428, and 188 was ahead of us, so it only left Stockford, Lewis, and myself remaining, and it was just the trio of us. And it was like that for a lap or 2 until Lewis passed me. I believe it was up the inside of turn 3, and I was trying to stick closely behind him because at this point in the race, I'm only trying to have somebody faster than me be in front so I can try to chase them down. Once Lewis passed me, I tried to latch onto the back of him, which worked for about a lap and a half. It worked well for a little bit until turn 3 when Stockford came in as I left the door wide open, which, you know, go figure. Going out into 6, I tried to outbrake him. He was not having it that day, so he took that corner and I tried to stay behind him. And coming off of the high from race 11 where I was putting a lot of my passes in turn 11, I thought, okay, I'm faster down 9 and I can stick onto his tail all the way through 10. Maybe I can do the same pass around 11. That's what I thought. What I didn't think was miscalculating. I was on his tail through the majority of those sectors, and I did close the gap really well going around the outside of 11, but I never showed my front wheel. He never saw my front wheel. So when two lines converge at an angle like that, one's turning, one's going straight, I'm going straight, he's already initiating his turn. We just collided and I got sent tumbling. And the bike, it's seen better days. So I was feeling very confident, and he was committed to that corner already. It was his corner, he owned it. I just did a desperate dive bomb because I was riding with red mist. Normally I'm not that kind of a rider, but I just made such a boneheaded decision to try to take him going into 12 that it didn't work out, and we ended up colliding. Thankfully he rode off and it seemed that he was all right. Unfortunately for me, I crashed and went tumbling a couple times into the pavement, then led into the grass. And the only upside is that my airbag deployed and it saved my bacon yet again, and I never actually hit the deck with my head, so that's always a plus. The damage tally on this bike right now is new bar, new lever, maybe a new upper if I can't patch this together, maybe a new skid plate, definitely a new foot peg, a new shift pedal, a new toe piece. I'm gonna check the seat base because it came flying off in the crash for some reason. That was kind of crazy. It looks super AI if you ask me. It looks way worse than it is. It fires up, it shifts gears. There's no check engine light on this thing, so it's all right. I mean, the bike can be fixed. My main concern after that happened was stock for it. It was a boneheaded move on my part. I own it 100%. I was riding desperate. I was riding with red mist, and that dive bomb kamikaze move was never gonna work out in that corner. And as Casey Stoner said, my ambitions outweigh my talents that day, and I'm not gonna forget it. Immediately, after I got the bike back to my garage, I went over to his pits. Unfortunately, he wasn't there. I let his people know that I wanted to apologize, and I reached out to him after the fact via messaging and let him know that, hey, you know, my fault. That was idiotic of me, and I'm just hoping you're okay, and that if I ruined your race, I take full responsibility for it, man. It was my bad. He accepted my apologies, and we're good, you know. And sometimes you need to own up to your mistakes. It wasn't a race incident. It was my fault. I was being an idiot, and I'm glad that he accepted my apologies, and can't wait to race again next year. Go ahead and get this bike all patched up for the last two track days of the season, which is gonna come sooner rather than later, which kind of sucks. There's plenty of street riding left, and I'm gonna try to soak up as much track time on this bike as I possibly can, because for me, I'm not actually really done riding, but for right now I am. Not so much of a race report to report back, just that I crashed again. If anything, I'll see you in 2026, and we're gonna come back better than this year. Last year was an elation year. This year was a learning year. It was really humbling. I just want to thank all my guys up at the track. Thank you for another great season, man. Thank you, NEMRR, for throwing up another great year riding. The organization is growing slowly but surely, and I'm happy to see the fruits of their labor come to realization. And as long as we can get more people up there racing, and as long as we can get more sunny days, there's not a lot to complain about. For right now, I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna get back to fixing this bike. We'll see what we can get mustered. I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't crash.